right, so standing at the center of your mat, you can go ahead and close your eyes, let your arms hang heavy. Take a deep breath in, exhale through the mouth, release. Let's do one more of those. Deep breath in. On your next inhale, let's bring arms out to the sides and up, palms touching overhead. And as you exhale, draw your thumbs to heart center. Take a moment here, maybe bowing the chin in gently to set any sort of intention for class today. I like to offer embodying humility, embodying respect, embodying an openness to whatever this practice might hold. We can return the chin to neutral, soften the knees, begin to rock gently from heel to toe. Notice where the weight goes, which regions of the foot. Notice if the rock forward or backward tends to come more easily. We can go ahead and lower the heels to the mat, come to standing still. Inhale those palms straight up overhead. Keep the eyes closed as you interlace all fingers except for the index fingers, and we're going to exhale to the right. So with your eyes closed in this shape, I invite you to just observe the expansion on the left side and the contraction on the right side, and try to make it equal all the way along those curves. So equal contraction all the way through the right side, equal expansion all the way through the left. Inhale, come up through center. And then exhale, we're going to go to the left. Again, focusing on the contraction and expansion in equal measures. We tend to have points of the body where it's easier to hinge. And sometimes we were to draw the line of engagement, it's more like a sharp corner as opposed to a rounded curve. And we kind of want to round that curve out. Inhale through center. Keep those eyes closed. Exhale, palms through heart center. Shift the weight into the right foot. Come up onto the toes of the left foot. And we're just going to work on rooting down through the right foot and maybe hovering those left toes up off of the mat. Notice any wobbles, any difficulties. Lower the left foot. For me, that one's always hilarious. It's so hard. Go ahead and shift into the left foot. Come up onto the toes of the right foot. And begin to hover the toes up off the mat. If you begin to wobble to the point that you think you're going to fall, try to hold for just a moment longer. And maybe just crack the eyelids open ever so slightly. And then close again, trying to reset in that way. Go ahead and lower the right toes. Come to standing still. Open the eyes, inhale the arms all the way up. Interlace the fingers the awkward way. Turn the palms face up. Step the feet beneath the hips. And go ahead and lift through the arms. Keep the shoulders rooted down, but reach up. Maybe on an inhale, you even come up onto the toes. We say onto the toes. It's really we're coming onto the balls of the feet. The toes are our brake pads. Keep reaching, keep rooting down. Notice if the ribs have flared out, if the tail has risen. Tuck the tail, draw the ribs in, reach a little bit higher. And on an exhale, we're going to stay on the tippy toes. Release the bind of the hands. Sweep the arms forward. Try to keep the legs straight here. Sweep the arms back. Coming into this half dive right here, but protecting the low back. So keep drawing the little ribs to hip points. And then lower the heels, bending the knees. Sweep the arms up, chair pose. Nice. And we're going to pulsate between those two for just a moment. The key engagement here is the core. So keep thinking of ribs toward hip points, even if it feels like in the swan dive, your back is rounded a bit, that's totally fine. It's better rounded than arched. All right, so let's go ahead, straighten the legs, sweep the arms back, keep drawing that navel in, hinge forward any amount. Let the shoulders drop toward each other on the back side of the body. Bend the knees, lower the heels, sweep the arms up, finding chair pose. Exhale, finding your swan. Hold here for just a moment. Release the heels and inhale, find chair. Stay here for 2 more breaths. And then we're going to inhale, come all the way up, reach up, maybe take a slight back bend, and exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, soften those knees, fold all the way down. Plant the fingertips, step the right foot back. Lower that knee to inhale, chest chin up. And exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. We're here for a few breaths. So notice if there's any movement that might feel good in the body. At the bottom of the next exhale, we're going to rock forward, keep the breath out, lower the knees, chest and chin, and then inhale, pull through, cobra. Exhale, soften. Whether by knees or through push-up, find your way up and back, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward, lower the left knee to inhale, chest, chin up. And then exhale, left foot forward, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, soften the knees, fold. Plant the fingers, step the left foot back, lower that knee to inhale, chest, chin up. Exhale, plant the hands, downward facing dog. We're here for a few breaths again. If you find movement again, that's perfectly fine. If you find stillness, you can maybe think of the chain of engagement on the back side of the body. So imagine that the creases of the elbows rotate slightly forward. They rotate in toward the ears and then forward toward the front edge of the mat. We press the mat away, getting a little more engagement through the shoulders. Shoulders draw gently toward each other on the back. Lift the tail. Lower the heels any amount. Maybe you even think of lifting the kneecaps to stretch through the back sides of the legs even further. As you feel ready, on the exhale, we'll rock forward, hold that breath out, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, snake it through, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, lower the right knee to inhale, chest, chin up. And then exhale, right foot forward, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands through heart center. Step the feet hips distance apart. Bring the hands to the hips, thumbs on either side of sacrum, on that flat bone just above the tailbone. And from here, we're going to press into the feet, lift the kneecaps, firm up the thighs, draw sit bones toward each other, lift anal and urethral sphincters in and up, and then press those hips forward. Maybe lift the heart by drawing shoulders together. Maybe lift the chin. Close the eyes, find the engagements in the body here. And again, try to make it an even contraction on the back side, even expansion on the front side. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach the arms up. Exhale, sit back, hands forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. One more. This time when we lower, we're gonna hold, sweep the arms back, come up onto the toes. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels, find chair pose. Exhale, hands through heart center. Twist to the left. Tuck the right elbow outside of the left knee. Draw the right hip back. It wants to pop forward here. Gaze to the front corner of your mat. We're going to hover, bringing right heel towards sit bone. One-legged chair. Step the right foot back. Find your twisted high lunge. On an inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up, but keep the twist. So arms are at a T. We're twisting from the navel. Inhale, sweep this left arm forward. Traditional high lunge. Now our option for Vinyasa here today is going to be simply straightening the left leg and bending it. Straightening and bending. We'll do 3 more. Check that the low ribs are drawn toward the hip points. Last one. Hold straight for a moment. Bring hands to hips. Step the right foot forward just a little bit. So we're in our pyramid stance, hands at hips. Draw left hip back, right hip forward. Anchor that tailbone straight down. Now from here, think of elbows hugging toward each other, pointing straight toward the ceiling as you hinge forward. This really active pyramid can be an intense pose for the left hamstring, but it's good. Strengthening. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften into this left leg. Press yourself back up to standing. All right, now from here, we're gonna stay facing the front edge of the mat, but we're gonna rock back until we can step our left foot back to our right. So just spring load the left leg and then step back. I don't know why I made that sound so much more intense because you said step back. Okay, so now we're standing more at the middle or back edge of the mat. We're gonna lift this left leg up in front of us, knee in line with hip. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, lower that heel of the straightened leg. Exhale, lift. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 2 more. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last one. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and hold. Hold as high as you can. Kick out of that heel. Contract through the front side of that hip for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee. Bend into the right knee. Reach left heel toward left sit bone. Uparaga Hamsasana. Our upward bird. Keep reaching that left knee up to open through the front side of that hip. Maybe reach back with the left hand to bind that foot. Grabbing the ankle. Keep the shoulders square. Keep a bend in that right leg for stability. Gently release. Lower the left foot down. Walk it out for a moment. All right. From here, we're going to hinge forward. allowing the hands to come to blocks, to a wall, or to the mat. But something that's in front of you, the knees can be soft. And we're going to lift the left leg up behind us, but then turn the foot so that the toes and the knee point straight down. Hip is square. All right, now from here, lower the toes almost to the mat. Lift. Lower. Lift. Last one, lower. Lift. Now from this lifted position, we're gonna swing that left leg out to the left, so it's reaching out. Imagine kicking a wall that's to that side of you. Lower and lift. Lower, lift. Last one's gonna be a hold. Lift, pulse up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that foot down next to the right foot. Bicycle those knees out, bicycle the heels out. We're standing with both feet together. We're gonna slide the left toes back until we're in a low lunge. Low lunge, right hand to right knee, left arm lifts, thumb against index finger now. Square the shoulders, square the hips, anchor the tailbone straight down, and then bend into the right leg any amount. Now, option to stay here, to lift both hands, to bring arms out to cactus at the sides, or maybe to work on that bind we did last class, working on grabbing the left ankle with the left arm and drawing it in. Potentially with a strap, potentially without. We're here for a few breaths, so give yourself a couple moments here to settle into the shape, to be head up, to deepen the breath. You might even challenge yourself by trying to close the eyes. One more breath. Slowly release out. Plant the hands, step it back, find your plank pose. Find your plank. All right, from here, we're gonna do some funky things. So we're gonna start by bringing left knee toward left elbow. Lower it down toward the wrist. Sweep it across the mat toward the right wrist. Lift it up toward right elbow. Send it back, three-legged down dog. All right, so we're gonna do that a few more times. We're going for 3 total, so go at your own pace. But I'll cue us through this next one. Rock forward to plank. Left knee to left elbow, to left wrist, to right elbow. Send it back. All right, one more of those, drawing a box with the left knee in this plank. We'll all meet in three-legged down dog. Look forward, maybe keep the leg lifted, maybe lower it. Let's move through Vinyasa, rocking forward, lowering halfway, pulling through for a back bend, lowering halfway, pressing up and back, downward facing dog. Whew, that's a good one. We're actually going to go to the next side before we move into our lateral set. So to get there, we need to hop to the front edge of the mat. You can do a single low hop. We did that last class where we hopped the legs wide, kind of coming into Malasana. You can also work on many small hops and shifting weight into the hands, specifically into the fingertips as you hop forward. Or you can work on stepping the feet toward one another, rocking the hips forward until you feel the weight in the fingertips, pressing the mat away, bending the knees, exhaling to hop up. All right, so we have a few moments. You might play with a couple different options or doing the same option a couple different times. We'll eventually meet at the front edge of the mat. And we'll inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Give yourself a couple breaths here. Notice differences from when you stepped onto the mat, maybe in temperature, maybe in heart rate, maybe in heaviness or lightness that you're feeling energetically. And we'll go ahead and open the eyes and we'll prepare to move to the next side. So let's start with this back bend. Feet beneath hips, thumbs either side of sacrum, draw those shoulders back, tuck the tail down, engage the legs. Press the hips forward as you lift through the heart, lifting the chin. You should feel under your hands your glutes engage. If they're not engaging, then go ahead and give them a squeeze. That's going to help protect the low back. On an inhale, rise all the way up. Reach those arms up. Exhale, hips back, hands forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward. 2 more. Last one's a hold. Exhale, forward. Sweep those arms back. Come up onto the toes. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels. Keep the legs bent. Reach those arms up. Utkatasana. Exhale, hands through heart center. Twist to the right. Left elbow outside of right knee. Draw the left hip back this time. Look toward the right corner of your mat. Shift weight into the right foot. Hover the left heel up towards sit bone. Step the left foot back. Find your twisted high lunge. Straighten the arms and bring the torso up in a twist. Nice. Inhale, sweep the right arm forward. High lunge, nothing fancy here. All right, now our vinyasa is straightening the right leg, isolating the movement. So we'll exhale to straighten and inhale to bend. Exhale, straighten, inhale, bend. 3 more. 2, 1. Hold straight, bring hands to hips. Step the left foot forward a bit. Closing the gap for pyramid pose for Parsvottanasana. Draw right hip back, left hip forward. Tuck your tail. I think of it as locking in my pelvis. Everything feels very stable there. And then draw elbows toward one another as you hinge at the hips. Keep the navel drawn in. That'll protect the low back here. If you're feeling this in your low back, it probably means that you're arching a little bit. So think of drawing the navel in, pushing that arch out of the back, and supporting the spine with the core. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale back up to standing. Bend into that right leg and then step it back. All right. So from here, we're going to keep hands at the hips. Shift the weight into the left foot. Into the left foot. Bring the right knee up toward the hip. Foot is flexed. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, bend. 2 more. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, bend. Last one. This time on the lift, we're gonna hold it there, kick out of the heel, pulse up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend into that right knee, bend into the left, reach right heel towards sit bone. Uparaga Hamsasana. Maybe bind the ankle with the right hand. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soft release of the right foot to the mat, walk it out. From here, we're again going to bring the hands to a surface in front of us. So whether that be the wall, a table, blocks, the mat, whatever works. Fingertips come to the surface. And we're gonna lift the right leg up behind us, but then square the hips. So knee points down, toes point down. Lower the toes toward the mat and lift. Lower and lift. One more. Lower and lift. Swing that leg out to the right. Lower and lift. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. Hold here, pulse up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set that foot down. Let's step the feet wide as the mat. Angle the toes out. Sink the hips down. Find your malasana here for a moment. Remember to engage the pelvic floor, draw sit bones toward each other. And it can feel good to keep hands at heart center or to crawl the fingertips in front and really lift and allow yourself to wiggle from side to side, lowering one knee forward, one knee back, and then the other way. Now from this squat, we're gonna lift in and out of it a couple different times. So keep thinking of drawing sit bones toward each other. You might even feel your feet isometrically tug toward one another on the mat. Maintain that as you press yourself up and then lower back down. Re-engage, press up and lower back down. Once more, press up, and we're gonna stay up. So you can move the feet back to normal. And let's see, how did we get into it last time? I think we just exhaled, hinged forward, fingertips on the mat. Slide the right foot back and lower that knee. Left hand to left knee, right arm lifts, stomach gets index fingernail. Square the shoulders, square the hips. Anchor that tailbone straight down, engaging the navel. And then exhale into the left leg any amount. And whatever variation you did last time, whether you lifted both arms, cactused, maybe bound the back foot. Here for a few breaths. Slowly release out of the shape. Plant the hands. Step it back. Find your plank pose. Oh yeah, you just remembered this. All right, from here, we're gonna bring right knee toward right elbow, right wrist, left elbow. Send it back, three-legged dog. All right, 2 more. Rock it forward. Right elbow, right wrist, left wrist, left elbow. Three-leg dog. Forward, right elbow, right wrist, left elbow. Send it up and back. Option to keep that leg lifted as we move through a vinyasa, rocking forward to plank, lowering halfway, chaturanga. Inhaling to pull through, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, half push-up. And back. Downward facing dog. All right, from here, looking at the feet, step them forward about a footprint and a little wide. And a little wide. We're gonna do some shoulder flexion, but in a more nourishing way than normal today. So keep the left palm planted. Trace the right fingers back until they can grab any part of the left leg. Pull against that bind. Look under the left armpit. Press the mat away with the left hand. Inhale to release. Right hand comes back to the mat. Exhale, other side. Left hand grabs right leg. Twist on exhales. Release. Crawl the hands a little bit forward. Rock forward to plank. We're going to do a 5 count lower all the way to the belly. So think of elbows hugging straight back as you bend for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At last, we're on our bellies. We're going to stretch those shoulders out. Palm of the left hand, plant it down on the mat in line with the forehead. The arm is straight. Press into the right palm, roll to the left side of the body. Maybe the right foot can plant knee towards sky. Maybe the left one can join it. We'll reach this right hand back to the low back. Keep the head lifted, look toward the right shoulder. Find a deep breath here. Know that the more you rock toward your back, the deeper this is going to go. One more breath. On an inhale, return the right hand to the mat. If the legs are bent, straighten them out, roll onto the belly. The left arm doesn't want to move, so we're not going to make it. We'll just extend the right arm out, palm face down in line with forehead. Left hand comes under the shoulder, roll to the right side of the body. Maybe you plant the left foot knee towards ceiling, maybe the right foot joins it. Bring that left hand to the low back. Keep the head lifted, look over the left shoulder. Again, know that any amount that you roll toward the back side of the body, the deeper this will go. Breathe deeply here. Notice where you feel the breath. The top of that inhale, where are you most feeling sensation? And then use an inhale to return the left hand to the mat, to straighten the legs out, to roll to the belly. All right. So from here, we're going to do a little bit of active back bending, and then we'll move into something that I don't think we've done. So let's go ahead and start by lifting just the legs. So let the torso be heavy. You can have the chin or the forehead planted. The palms can be planted. We're going to press into the pelvis, press into the tops of the feet. Feel the glutes engage as you inhale to lift the legs and exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale, lift, pulse up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow, lower, wiggle the hips out. And we'll go to the torso now. So again, press into the tops of the feet, press into that pelvis. Hands can hover underneath the shoulders. We're going to inhale, peel ourselves up off of the mat, hover those hands, and lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. This last one will be a hold. Inhale, lift. Pulse up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow lower. Wiggle it out on the mat. Before we tie all of that together, we'll go into that thing that I'm not sure that we've done before as a group. And that thing will be to bring the elbows beneath the shoulders in our Sphinx pose, but then we're going to turn the left forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Okay, left forearm is parallel. Now from here, I can tent my right fingertips in front of me. I'm gonna keep drawing my left shoulder back, keeping it square, and I'm gonna bend the right heel towards sit bone. Keep pressing into the top of the left foot, reach back with the right hand. You can either grab the outside edge thumb down or the inside edge thumb up. And we're just gonna kick the foot into that hand. Keep trying to pull right shoulder forward, left shoulder back as you kick foot into hand. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Soften down. Lower the right foot back. Come back to both elbows beneath shoulders. And we'll go to the other side. So right forearm parallel to the front edge. Press into the top of the right foot. Left fingertips can tent ahead of you. Bend the left heel back. And then reach back. And do the same bind as you did on the other side. Kick the foot into the hand. Draw the left shoulder forward and down. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Gently release. Let's go ahead and find the belly. Wiggle the hips side to side. And from here, we're going to press our way all the way up and back to downward facing dog. All right, so we still need to get into our lateral set. We did a little bit, but we're going to do a little bit more. We'll start by rocking forward to plank. Move to the left hand or forearm. Reach the right arm up. All right, we're going to do a couple different things here. We're going to first exhale, lower that hip, lower right fingertips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Lift this right leg up out to the side. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee. Point the toes toward the back edge of the mat. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Bring the foot toward the left hand. Nice. And then from here, we're going to lower the right knee. It doesn't need to go to the mat. And then just bring it back up and hips press back. Bend into the right knee. Let that knee fall out to the side. And come up and back. One more of these. Bending into the right knee, letting it fall out. Come up and back. And from here, we're going to rotate toward the right, but pivot on that right foot until it's pointing the outside edge to the long edge of the mat. Okay, so we're kind of in this weird side planky thing. Lower that left hip, any amount. And then think of drawing the right knee up. As you twist your torso here, you should feel a nice stretch of that outer right hip. It might feel better to keep the hips lifted. It might feel better to keep them lowered. We're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Press into the left hand, come back up, rotate back forward, and from here, step the left foot to be crossed behind the right. Keep a forward fold here, even shake the head out, let the head become heavy. Now on an inhale, we're gonna bend into the legs and crawl the hands back, dragging the feet toward one another until the right leg is crossed over the left and the feet are near each other on the mat. Try to bring the torso up. You can bring hands to hips. Try to lift the right toes, maybe even hooking them around the left calf. So we're in our eagle leg pose. Let's add some eagle arms. We'll do right arm under left, cross over, press right fingers into left palm. We have the option to hold here for a moment, or we have the option to bring this into an arm balance. If you're wanting to bring this into an arm balance and the toes are tucked, untuck them, and you're gonna bend deeper and bring the fingertips to the mat. Now, the left elbow is gonna tuck outside of the right knee as I lower my hands to the mat to the right side of me. And I have to really bend into my knees to get that contact. So we're pretty low here. Elbows are gonna bend straight back. You have the option to rest the ribs or even the right hip on the right elbow. Keep gripping into the fingertips, lean forward, look forward. Maybe lift the legs. Nice. If you're in that, you can come back out of it. We're all gonna meet with both feet planted on the mat, right foot still in front of left. Whew, got a big set so far. Bend into the right foot. No, that's not what I mean. Bend into the right leg. Let's drag the left toes back until we have our triangle pose stance. So left toes angle out 45 degrees, right toes point forward, hips are square. We're going to again hinge forward, but this time we're gonna revolve from triangle. So left hand can come to left shin, and we can raise the right arm up, or left hand can come inside of left foot, and we can work on stacking the shoulders, keeping the chin in line with that right shoulder, twisting from the navel. Keep scooping that right hip back and under, left hip comes forward. Hold here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the right hand and come all the way back up. All right, now from here, we're gonna step the left foot forward. And we are going to move through a couple different options. We can either move through a crow pose or move through a hop back, okay? So if you wanna find crow, you'll plant the hands beneath the shoulders, bring the knees to the back sides of the arms, keep bending those elbows straight back as you lean forward, look above the front edge of your mat, maybe begin to lift the toes. If you don't wanna find crow, then you can simply shift the weight into your hands and work on hopping back into a plank. All right, if you're in crow, consider flying back to chaturanga. All right, so we keep the elbows bent. Think of really pressing those legs back. Find chaturanga. From there, we'll all meet in a downward dog. We just need to do that little baby set on the other side. A short set, but a spicy one. So rock forward to plank. Move right hand or forearm beneath the nose. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot, side plank. Left arm lifts. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lift this left leg, holding here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, point the toes for 3, 2, 1. Step the left foot toward the right hand. Nice. Now come to tented fingertips. This is where we're gonna rock back, kind of straightening the legs, and then forward, letting the left knee drop to the side, hips lower. Back and forward. One more time. This time we'll go back. As we come forward, we're gonna stay here, plant the right hand, roll to the outer edge of the right foot, let the left toes point toward the long edge of the mat, lower the hips any amount. Trying to get into this outer left hip. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Come back through center. Straighten both legs. Hop the right foot forward to be crossed behind the left. Legs are crossed. We can let the head be heavy, let the torso be heavy. Take a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to drag the left foot back. Bring the torso upright. Find eagle legs. Our Garuda legs. This time, left arm sweeps under right for Garuda arms. Option to stay here, or if you want to take it into the arms, this time we'll bend deeply, lowering the palms to the left side. Grip into those fingertips as you lower the hips, bringing the left knee to the outside of the right elbow, maybe lowering left hip or ribs to the left elbow, holding here for 3, 2, 1, lowering out. We'll all come to stand with the left foot crossed in front of the right. Slide those right toes back and a little bit to the right. Angle about 45 degrees for triangle pose. All right, draw right hip forward, left hip back. Keep the navel drawn in as you reach this right hand down the left leg. Maybe it comes to the mat. Scoop the left hip back and under as you reach the left arm up. Slowly release. Look toward the front edge of the mat. Step the right foot forward. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands through heart center. If you're not all the way to the front edge of your mat, you might want to step more forward because we're going to go ahead and lower now. So we can start by reaching the hands forward and beginning to bend into the legs. Let the sit bones reach the mat, and then we're going to lift the legs. So we're going to find Navasana or boat pose. You can have knees bent 90 degrees, toes flexed back, toes pointed. You can have legs straightened, arms reaching forward, arms reaching up. Wherever you are, we're going to hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now slowly lower here. Letting the legs lower, letting the torso lower until you're on the mat, fully release. Give it a little wiggle. Now, ladies, from here, we're going to go ahead and draw the knees into the chest. Give them a little squeeze. And we'll reset by straightening the left leg out on the mat, drawing the right knee across the body. Open the right arm out to the right. Think of right knee and right shoulder drawing toward the mat equally, but opposite sides of the mat. And maybe even let the gaze, whether eyes are opened or closed, go toward the right fingertips. Let every exhale be an invitation to fully soften into the shape. Inhale to draw the right knee back in. Join it with the left knee. Rock a little side to side. And we'll go the opposite direction. Straightening the right leg on the mat. Let's draw the left knee across the body. Open through the left arm, gazing that direction. Again, left shoulder, left knee, reaching toward the mat on opposite sides. Let the breath be heavy, let it be natural. And let every exhale be an invitation to soften. On an inhale, draw the left knee back in. Join it with the right. Give a little squeeze. With the knees still hugged in, we're going to neutralize through the pelvis by bringing right palm on the near side of the right knee, left palm on the far side of the left knee, and press and pull those points of contact into each other. And then soften, switch which side each palm is on, engage again. And soften. We'll do one more each direction. Pressing and pulling. And then softening. Switching the grip and then pressing and pulling again. And softening. In these last couple minutes, you have the opportunity to move into whatever you think would best serve you. That could be a shoulder stand, a plow pose, a happy baby, legs up the wall, headstand, so many different things. So allow yourself to do whatever it is that seems like would benefit you. Take the next minute to address any other needs your body might have before ultimately moving into whatever shape feels like would be most beneficial to close with. That might be Shavasana, might be legs up the wall, might be Supta Baddha Konasana, where you're lying on your back with the bottoms of your feet together, knees fall wide. You might choose to stay seated in a meditative posture. There is a quote from the Buddhist nun Pema Chodron that goes, "You are the sky, you are the sky. Everything else is just the weather." And as we sink into these final moments of stillness, we can take on that role of observer. We can take on the embodiment of what it is to be steadfast, to be detached. And we can notice that all of the fluctuations of sensation, of emotion, of thought, all all of those things happen on the surface level. We are somewhere beyond that or beneath that. Often, when I sit in silent meditation, one of my favorite ways to drop in is to imagine myself as a body of water. Picture a high mountain lake on a windy day. At the surface, there are waves, there are ripples, there's sediment moving through the water. But as you draw deeper and deeper, there's stillness. And you see that the tumult is just on the outermost layer, and there are so many other layers beneath that. So, in these last few moments, try to find that place of stillness within you. Notice if it feels like that place exists within your chest, within your gut. Find a physical location in your body where you feel like you can observe from, where you are not a part of the tumult, a part of the weather, but altogether apart from it. Invite the breath back into the body by deepening the inhales, lengthening the exhales. Maybe you introduce small movements or wiggles along with this depth of breath. And as it feels okay to do so, you can draw the knees in toward the chest, either rolling to a side and pressing to a seat or rocking along the spine to come to a seat. On an inhale, we can sweep arms up and out to the sides, drawing hands towards heart center, pausing momentarily at the forehead, at the lips, and then coming to rest at heart center. Might we remember that stillness that exists within us, that stillness that lies beneath everything else. It's always there if only we remember to find it. Thumbs can return to forehead as we bow forward gently. The light within me recognizes and honors the light within each of you. Namaste.